Hey guys, it's me Falcor, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over Paladin Chronomancer, a class I should have gone over ages ago, but obviously I stopped for quite a while. However, thank you to Slade for actually giving me this code. At the time, I didn't have an option or a chance to actually get the code for the class, so I'm really grateful for that. I hope you see this video, even though I haven't posted in ages. Second of all, this may be cut up into parts, because I have to do something pretty soon. But we're going to start the video off anyway. Either way, we got Paladin Chronomancer here, and we got Daddy Woo, who's also a follower of the channel. He's got the Obsidian version on that you can get from the Hero Mart area. Overall, you just get this through the calendar code. So you just come into here, badges, Hero Mart, and then if I just go over to the left over here, you'll see Paladin Chronomancer for the 2023 calendar. Got everything in here. Really nice and easy to find if you do have a calendar code. If not, I'll show you where to get it without the calendar code. Okay, so you just slash join Hero Mart over here. You go speak to Strike, go to the merge shop, go to the calendar classes shop, go to the ACs, scroll down, you buy the time lock key over here for 6k ACs. You go over to the time lock shops, next decade, Obsidian Paladin Chronomancer, where you'll have all the Obsidian stuff. You won't have the original one, just the Obsidian version, but you get a pet as well, which is really nice. Okay, so I'm just in the museum as per usual, and what I will say is for Chrono Paladin, I would recommend just going full healer. I think with the cape, you can go with Pettinance, I think it's called. I don't have it unlocked. It's literally just a 25% boost to your physical defense, if I remember it right. Yeah, 25% damage resistance, but you get minus 25% in your damage over time boost. Realistically, for Paladin Chronomancer, it's not a big deal. Because it's not really that type of class. When it comes to the healing kind of enchantments or enhancements, you can go to here. I would recommend going to the section over here with the Ore Blast, and you can use that, if anything. Besides that, I wouldn't really recommend anything else. I know HP, mana is an issue with this class, just because it uses a lot of mana overall, but I don't necessarily think you need mana vamp more than anything. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the skills quickly as per usual. I'll turn my camera off because I know I'm going to blur the section anyway. But yeah. Okay, so for the auto attack, it's called Hammer of Virtue. Short range attack, single target, doesn't deal any crit damage, it can't crit, and the damage is based over your current health. Number 2 is Radiant Rift. This is also a short range single target attack. This is the one that deals damage and applies Temporal Rift to the target, and it stacks to 4. This will be used for your nuke attack, which is your 5th skill. It applies Ascendancy and Reprisal to your target, reducing their dodge, haste, crit chance, and outgoing damage and defense by 10% for 10 seconds. This stacks to 5. If Indomitable is active, it applies Radiant Light, which is your damage over time based on your current HP. This lasts for 6 seconds and doesn't refresh, deals bonus damage to undead, and also can't crit. Your next skill is Holy Vow. This is a high mana use skill. It's infinite range and heals 7 friendly targets. It uses your holy magic to conjure a protective ward, heals you and your allies while applying Holy Shield, increasing haste and physical and magical defense by 33% for 15 seconds. This always crits, but it deals a nice heal. This is your big heal, so it massively heals you and your allies while applying Indomitable, increasing your endurance for 400% for 5 seconds. It applies Guardian Angel to you and your allies for 15 seconds as well. The next use of Holy Vow consumes this, applies Intervention for 5 seconds, a massive heal over time, and it always crits. Finally, there's Divine Retribution, 10 mana 18 second cooldown. This is a short range single target attack once again. This uses your Temporal Rifts, so if your Temporal Rift is active, deals damage to your target based on the current amount of damage you dealt in the past 10 seconds while it was active. Damage scales with each stack of Temporal Rift, and consumes those stacks. Applies Spirits Within, restoring 45 mana over 5 seconds. Undead targets are also stunned for 3 seconds, and it can't crit. Okay, so as you can see with those skills, there's a lot of interchange between 4, 3, and 2. So if 4 is active, applying Indomitable, you can then use 2 to get your damage over time, which I'll show you really quick. You'll be able to see that on the target there. Pretty decent for damage over time. And then finally, there's also 3, which applies a heal over time that you can see right now as well, which is really nice. Okay, so when it comes to Paladin Chronomancer, there's a general kind of soloing type of combo I'd recommend, and that would be to stack your 2 up first, then go 4, 2, 3, 2, 5. It just gets everything you need, a heal over time, applies your damage over time, and by the time you've used your damage over time, generally you've got enough damage to just use your nuke anyway. So I'll show you what I mean. Like I mentioned, it's quite a high mana use class, so what I'm going to do is just stack 2 up really quickly. It's just stack it to 4, then we're going to use 4, then 2, get our damage over time, 3 with our heal over time, 2 once again, and then there we go. We got a 50k damage over time nuke. And then what I'm just going to do is just stack my 4th Temporal Rift again, so using my 2nd skill. Overall with this class, it's really good for ultras. I'm not going to show any ultra usage in this guide, but it is really good for using kind of as a step in place for Arch Paladin. It's really nice to use. Helps you out quite a bit, to be honest. But as you can see with a 2nd skill, it's quite a high mana use. So you have to be careful when you are using that, unless you have people who can kind of restore more mana. I know your 5th skill, I think it is, restores mana. Yeah, it restores mana over 5 seconds. But overall, it's something you can't necessarily rely on too heavily and keep spamming your 3rd skill unless you have other teammates helping you out with that. But for a soloing class, it's not awful. It's really tanky, so you have no issues with that at all. It's just quite slow. I'll show you what I mean by how tanky it is. We're at Blood Titan, the Ultra version, generally quite a hard boss just to solo if you don't have the dodge, because he does do quite a bit of damage. So what I'm just going to do is just run into him there. As you can see, he does about 300 damage. We have loads of health already because we have a healer enhancements on. Got our 4 Temporal Rifts up, and then from there, what I'm just going to do, I'm going to press 4, 2, 3, 2, and then I'm just going to click 5, and there's no real issue. It's nothing that I have to worry about necessarily. He's just kind of here, existing, same as me. What I would recommend is... Sorry, got distracted. What I would recommend is, if you are using this with teammates in an ultra fight, if you do have the option, like I mentioned, for Penitence, or Penitence, I can't remember the name, I would recommend farming for it. It's really nice. It's something that's going to just help you overall, especially. Even though your damage over time is going to be decreased, it's not a huge issue. You're not that nuking type of class. You're not like the other forms of regular Chronomancer that we used to see back in the day. It's still fun to use, don't get me wrong, but your maximum amount of solo damage you're generally going to do is around 50k for a nuke. Okay, and there we go. It wasn't an issue at all. Daddy was down there just dancing. I know I ramble on a bit, but generally it's a really good tanky class. No issue with soloing, no issue at all with ultras. You just have to be careful with your mana. That's something I'd recommend. If you can spam and you have the ability to spam your heal, please do. If you have people helping you out with your mana usage, because I know there's some classes that do help out with that. However, if it comes down to it and it's just you, and you've got a bit of a struggle with your mana situation, stop spamming your 3rd skill. You're better off using your 4th, and your 3rd you get a nice heal over time as well for a few seconds. Okay, so when it comes to farming, not a farming class. It does decent damage. Once again, for stuff like this, you've got good survivability, but you're short range, so you can't really do too much. Even with your nuke, like you have to be in close proximity with stuff. 2 of your moves don't really do anything besides heal you, so you just have to rely on your 2nd skill and your 5th skill, as well as your auto attack. If I was to say anything, once again, it's just that it's tanky. It's just nothing to write home about, especially in the farming department. Okay, so we're just going to do some PvP over here with Daddy Will real quick, because he's going to help me out with this, which is really nice of him. Just turn my camera off. But yeah, just going to try our best. Okay, so I'm going to include all the clips of me dying as well, don't worry. But I think generally for PvP it's decent. What I would recommend is maybe doing 3-4-2 and then trying to get your damage over time. That's what I found worked out best for me. But if I didn't do that, I kind of just died. Overall, nice PvP class, quite tanky. You got your heal over time, you got your nice heals, and really good damage over time as well. It's like 5-6k almost. Really, really good. Increases as well, depends on your health. With the nuke, it's not really a thing in the PvP sense of things, but it's still decent. Overall, I would say Paladin Chronomancer is a really, really good class. I'd recommend you get it if you want something for ultras. If you want a really tanky class for kind of just solos as well, I'd recommend that. If you don't already have a couple of the other Chronos that are just kind of like dodge and massive crits, and you want something a bit different, I'd recommend this. If you want something like the other Chronos, get the other Chronos, because it's not like them. Overall though, it's really fun. I would recommend you get it if you don't have it already. 6k ACs for this class is really decent, good in the PvP sense of things. I know no one really plays PvP, but it's still fun, as well as all the ultras and the use it has there. Overall, I'd say it's a really, really good class. If I was to give it a rating, it'd probably be S tier with soloing, A tier with PvP, and then for farming, C tier or D tier. It's not a farming class, I'd probably say D tier overall. But thank you once again, Slay, for this code. I hope you all have a good day, good night, good evening, whatever time it may be for you. My first class video back, so please give me some slack. I try my best, I do. But yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. And yeah. Oh, and thank you, Daddy Woo, for joining this video and helping me out so much with all the PvP stuff. You'll see me in the chat going, okay, let's try this class, let's try this class. That's it. Bye-bye.